Waycross coverage of OHSAA wrestling is made possible in part by SWOCA, the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association. Steve Burke, Matt and Dominique Mercurio, Dr. Kevin Riley, Dr. Stephen Daly, Foster and Motley, Financial Consultants, Jeff Burkhoff's Old Coaches Association, Cold Spring, Kentucky La Roses, Kent Smith of State Farm, Klein Residential, and Dan Starkey.
Waycross Community Media welcomes you to our coverage of the semifinal round, the 2019 Ohio High School Athletic Association individual tournament, coming to you from the Value City Arena in the Jerome Schottenstein Center here at Ohio State University. I'm Dave Bean. With me are Greg Klein and Tim Cunningham, along with a whole team of volunteers from Waycross. We're bringing you the action in the matches that involve wrestlers from Greater Cincinnati. And wrestling has started.
Oh, yeah, we're on mat one here with Cole Skinner of LaSalle, 106 pounds, ranked number one in the state. This is the semifinal match. His opponent, Peyton Fenton from Elyria. Right now, LaSalle's as a team is in first place and Elyria's in third. So not only personal best points here, but it's also team points at stake.
Yeah, and that's kind of what's unusual this year's tournament, isn't it, Greg? The standings at this point.
Well, it's been a great tournament right now. We haven't seen this in a long while. Cincinnati LaSalle in first place with 89.5 points, followed by St.Edwards, our perennial champion, 84.5, and Elyria at 69. And down in Division II, which doesn't really have that many schools from the Southern Ohio area, Southwest Ohio, is St. Paris Graham's the perennial champions. It's only got a 3-point lead over Aurora, 53.5 to 50.5. So all these matches now are critical, whether it's semifinals or consolation matches that we'll be bringing you later. Everything counts, and counts a lot.
Yeah, Skinner is in the white singlet out there, and the Elyria Peyton Fenton is in the dark uniform. The red and black of Elyria. He's a freshman and 34-7, and was second in the Mentor district. The guy who beat him in their district is out of the tournament. But we've seen that happen a couple times over the course of the tournament this year.
Well, it's Skinner, 29-0. He's a sophomore, first year at LaSalle. We're having a little hard time reading the scoreboard, so we'll try and keep you as close up to date. We can't see it from where we're sitting at, so we'll probably try and have the cameras show it to us a little bit, but we'll keep close as tabs as we can by just watching. Okay, LaSalle, Cincinnati LaSalle. Skinner wins the toss. He defers. Elyria takes down.
He's in a really tough position there, sitting on both ankles. He makes a quick turn in on Skinner and picks up a
looked like almost a Peterson.
He almost got a Peterson roll, but it didn't. Locking hands.
Locking hands. Yep.
That would be against Skinner.
Right.
Well, actually, that's probably better than giving up the reversal, huh?
I don't know. It's a free point, and he's still got to do something from there. He's got to be able to ride him, so.
Skinner's
coached by Burnett from Elyria, a former state champion himself from Ohio.
Well, Skinner's got a remarkable background. He qualified for the Cadet National World, the Cadet World team in freestyle in the summer before his 9th grade year, and then spent a semester wrestling somewhere, and he just was warned for stalling, which is kind of remarkable. But he was. Looked over to the coaches in the chair at the side. Ryan Root is the head coach at LaSalle. Anyway, Skinner had a kind of an unusual freshman year. He participated for for at least one match with Middletown Madison, and then transferred to
potentially dangerous. Stop the match.
LaSalle before the new transfer rule went into effect. He sat out a semester at LaSalle, and then came back into the thing here in the on the run up to the state title tournament.
About 1 minute left here. Skinner riding tough. But if that stall warning, he's got to do something here. Referee's talking to the lower wrestler now, Fenton. Got to see some action from him also.
I'm wondering where I can't even see a scoreboard.
There's about 10 seconds left.
Oh, there it is. It's over behind those cameramen, where we've asked
I'm sure
them not to put him there.
Yeah, the scoreboard's, our score's not correct. First of all, it's the wrong wrestler and everything else.
Yeah, the only thing that's right on the board at this point here is that it's Cole Skinner.
It's 3-2. 3-2 green. So they have the score. It's 3-2 on the scoreboard. I'm not sure how that happened.
Peyton Fenton of Elyria
winning 3-2.
This weight class is brought to you by Klein Residential Properties.
And that's the end of the second period, with Cole Skinner trailing 3-2.
We think. Trailing 3-2. We're having a communication problem with the graphics in the production truck right now. They're on their feet. You can't see it either. What are we doing?
I do know Red has 2. So
here comes that Peterson position.
Well, I think
again.
I think Skinner's going to get the leg in and get on top. If he puts it in, should get the 2.
No, he says it's not 2.
Yeah, because he's waved it off.
Whoa! Skinner's in a really precarious position here. He was stacked up, kind of.
Yeah, close to it. Now start all over.
Close to.
A minute to go.
There's Skinner's in on a.
Yeah, he's too far out of bounds. Too close to the edge.
It's kind of a sloppy shot, actually.
Coach Ryan Root questioning the official
about the points.
Yep.
Every match is critical for LaSalle if they have any hopes of defeating St. Ed's. They split this year with St. Ed's in duels, beating them in Cincinnati and then losing by 1 point to them in the state duels finals.
Fenton's just blocking off right now. We're running out of time. There's like 10 seconds left. How can he finish that?
Yeah, Fenton came here, knocked off a lad from Copley, and then knocked off the number 1 wrestler out of the Hilliard-Davidson district.
No points. He didn't give it to him. Now there's an upset. Start off
That's
the
a
round.
major upset. And Coach Root
well,
is
that's
in.
not a match argument he's going to win. So
you don't win that argument, you know, unless you can get the referee to reconstruct the match and admit there was something that he missed. And it doesn't look as if he's
going to talk to the other official. No, he's not.
He talked to him earlier when they were moving through to the middle. And LaSalle's hope for a state championship goes down in flames as Peyton Fenton, who was not expected to be, you know, here in the finals actually, comes through and gets himself into the finals.
Well, they still have a shot at it. Doesn't completely, it just messes Cole Skinner's chances as a state championship.
Yeah, it sure does.
He's got to come back and finish third.
Yeah, that's the hard part now is that he's got to turn around in about a very brief period of time. He's got to be ready to go tomorrow morning and sleep on that loss overnight if he can sleep.
So we're going to be coming up next again shortly here, about half a minute or so, with another LaSalle wrestler at the 113 pounds, Dustin Norris, be coming up next. We're sitting there. There's our table workers. Tim Cunningham, myself, Dave, Sue Bean. We've got great seats here. There we are. Wave to the crowd.
Boy, that's a good-looking assembly there.
So
the guy that's working is Tim. He's over there on the left of you. He works harder than we do. He actually knows what matches are coming up.
Well, this should be a good match here. I'm looking forward to this one. Dustin Norris from LaSalle versus Jacob Moon for Oregon Clay. Both finished first. Both sophomores.
As we get started here today, we want to extend our thanks and gratitude to the underwriters of the 14 weight classes. They provide the financial support that makes the program possible. Klein Residential Properties, Dave Foster of Foster and Motley, Dr. Kevin Riley of Tri-Health Medicine and Orthopedics, retired football and wrestling coach Dan Starkey, Mark Floan of La Rosa's Restaurant in Cold Spring, Kentucky, Denny Dupps and the members of the Jeff Burkhoff Old Coaches Association, Steve Burke of Burke Associates Consulting, and Kent Smith of State Farm Insurance, former tournament managers Matt and Dominique Mercurio, Dr. Steve Daly of the UC Health and Sports Medicine, and Joe Campolongo, the president of SWOCA.
Well, here we are. We're a minute and 14 left in the first period. Norris came into this match at 28-3, finished second last year at 106 pounds. His last win was a major decision in the quarters. His opponent, Jacob Moon, comes in at 46-4. A few more matches. Actually had a major decision in the first round and a pin in the second round of Colin Howard. So a lot of firepower here. Both been a little more cautious on the start, changing their levels, being a lot of them both on their knees.
Norris appears to be stalking Moon. Moon and Vorty.
Kind of hard to be, you know, on the aggressive from there. You know, and then from Moon's point of view, he should be heavy hands. Oh, same kind of looking like the same kind of technique that we saw with.
Out of bounds.
Just didn't get that second, had that second foot up in the air. He looked like it was close.
Well, Moon is 46-4 at this stage. He won the Mentor District. And
that's the end of the first period.
That's generally conceded to be one of the very toughest districts in the state. He got here with a major decision over Vandalia Butler wrestler Josh Southerly, and a 432 pin over Colin Howard of Maple Heights. Norris beat. Did he get that?
All right.
No
points. Now he's Moon's
in on the leg, and
still no points. Minute 32 left.
And Coach Root is
He's
obviously concerned.
He's been up and out of his chair about 6 times in these first 2
yeah,
matches.
and it's just in two matches. That's pretty tough. He's got a lot. LaSalle as a whole has a lot riding on these matches. Norris got here with a major decision, 15-3 over Scott of Cleveland John Adams. And
looking to turn. He's got that elbow, or the wrist, I should say. To try and pull that wrist through the legs and try and get a tilt.
Well, at least we can see the scoreboard this time.
Yeah.
You know, they ought to move the scoreboard on mat 1 over to the middle of that map. They insist on putting those cameras in there, one of which is Waycross camera, but.
Oh, almost a nice little stack there, but Norris got it hips out in front a little bit. Moons was able to reach back in a leg, 28 seconds. Good breakdown. Good way to take the man back to the mat. Didn't give up anything. 24 seconds left here in the second period between Dustin Morris and Jacob Moon, Norris has controlled this period. 10 seconds left.
And you know, that was one of the things we talked about earlier in earlier rounds. We were talking about how the LaSalle kids were being so dominant in the top position. And Norris is showing that talent right now, but it's something that we didn't see at 106 pounds. And you got to get the takedown first, I guess is the message
still
there.
Still no points. 2 minutes left. Norris needs an escape and hopefully a takedown, but definitely can't be ridden this whole third period.
No.
And he gave some away.
He gets his one.
So now we saw nothing going on in the first period. They're both back in a similar position. One knee on the mat, tapping each other's head. Yeah, somebody's got to make a move here. Obviously, with Norris leading 1-0, this is to his advantage. But eventually, officials going to have to make these two guys wrestle.
Yeah. Well, they're staying in the middle of the mat. Certainly, there's neither guy is trying to flee or hide or run.
I don't think Moon's got an approach to this. Comes down to their level. Norris hasn't changed level. Now he's got a little heavier hands. Gone a whole minute here. Quite honestly, I haven't seen him do anything. At this point, we've
Well, certainly.
Got another match going on.
Certainly
Mat
Moon.
1.
Where we got?
We actually got 3 guys going, Dave. Josh Dunn's on this match on your side, right side from Goshen. We've also got Lucas Bird in the top corner of the screen. Well,
Okay.
we've got all 3 of them.
Okay, let's see. Let's sort them out here. We've got Moon and Norris on the left. We have Bird and Landon Hacker.
That's not the bottom mat's not correct. Yeah, the bottom camera's on the wrong play. Yeah, we need. That's wrong. All right, that's Norris winning. So we got to get another camera. Here we go. There we goes Lucas Bird on the bottom right as Dustin Norris wins 1-0 to advance to the finals for the 2nd straight year. And Lucas Bird just got the takedown. There's 2-point takedown on your bottom right. We'll get rid of that screen on the left here shortly and go back to tool screen.
So we've got Josh Dunn of Goshen is out. He's in Division II, and he's wrestling Gavin Ritter of Wauseon.
Well, you take care of that one, Dave.
I got that one.
I'll talk. Keep you in touch with Lucas Bird on the mat, and we'll eventually get him back on camera.
Let's get Dunn back.
No, you have Dunn. Dunn's on the camera.
Okay, yeah, all right. Dunn's in the solid red singlet over here on the left. Yeah, he's on the left.
Well, that's the other. I don't know what the mat on the left is not our screen.
861.
That's an incorrect picture. The one on the right. There we go. On your left, that's Lucas Bird on top in the red and white from LaSalle.
And on the right, we have Josh Dunn and Gavin Ritter of Wauseon. And at this point,
and there's about 3 seconds left here in the first period. That ends the first period. Bird leading 2-0.
Dunn is trailing at this point 2-0 with 30 seconds left in the second period.
Okay, Bird's down. We start the second period. His opponent, Landon Hacker from Wadsworth, finished 7th last year at 120 pounds. Lucas won it at 113.
Josh Dunn's a junior. His coach at Goshen is Dan Hill. Dan coached at Finneytown while there was still a program there.
Goshen's ahead 2-0 in your match, Dave. And
yep.
We got Bird ahead 4-0 now. Calling stalling on the Wadsworth wrestler. Bird tying up that far arm with a nice bar arm. Gonna reach for the far wrist, opposite wrist. But Lucas doesn't stop working. He's continually looking for back points and fall. He's trying to get a little tilt there. He didn't have it quite tight enough. Now he's going to do Turkin it back the other way. No points, but that hurts a little bit. Yeah, got the cross body right in. Now he's caught the far. Now he's going to try and get his head under there, guillotine it, stretch it back.
Dunn continues his 2-point lead, though he's the referee's looking very closely to determine if there's indication of stalling. that straight-on ride often precipitates those kinds of calls.
On the left side screen, start of the third period, Bird takes down. Hacker trying to put the legs in. Lucas closes it up a little bit. Well, he's got him. He's going to come out the back way here. Yeah, halfway high now. Looking not only the 2-point reversal, but looking for back points. 6-0. Cincinnati LaSalle, Lucas Bird.
Dunn running in a circle there to get out from underneath.
Wadsworth, meanwhile, is in 5th place behind Brecksville, the top 5 in Division I, LaSalle, St. Ed's, Elyria, Brecksville, and Wadsworth. This is a big round for both, several of the teams. Going to be a lot of movement here as they get, we got injury.
Have a potentially dangerous hold there.
No, I think we got an illness on
And
on
time's out.
So we're going to stop here for a minute.
We have 3 seconds left in the
illness
in Dunn's match.
Well, when was the last Goshen wrestler we had in the?
Well, there was a 185-pounder a few years back who took the whole thing.
Yeah, Jermaine Gresham.
Yeah, that's what I was.
2-time.
Right. That's a big. That's a happy situation there at Goshen. I was talking to Dan Hill before the round started. He said, "Yeah," he said it's nice. Dunn's moved in this year, and here he has a kid who's got a shot at the state championship.
All right, well, we're going to get ready to start. Here you can see a little replay of Lucas Bird coming out and then trying to stack the Wadsworth wrestler up. Going right for that pin, boy. You know, these bonus points are going to be super important for the team title, team race here. You get a pin, you get 2 extra points, you get a major decision, you get another point. So, and it's going to be every point counts, I think.
Yeah. And there needs to be some bonus points. We've talked about that a number of times, that we've got to come up with bonus points along the way, because it has been so close with St. Ed's, and for that, as you pointed out, Elyria is sneaking up there as well.
All right, so Bird 6-1.
So just congratulations to Ken and Michelle Dunn for their son's semifinal win in Division II at 120 pounds. And we've still got the bouts going
nice
here.
Little shrug by for Bird, and he's got a chance to. He's going to cut him, I think. 8 to,
maybe going for
8-2. He's trying to get. Trying to get those bonus points if he can. That's 10. 10-2. I don't know how much time left is the problem.
That's a major decision.
Yeah, and that's a point. So now he can look for the cradle. 10-2. He's going to stay there, keep the wrestler broke down, work on a tilt. Got that bar. Got behind his back. Out front there, he's got the bar. He's going to try and underhook the other arm, come the other way.
Come over the head.
Yeah, I think they're going to run out of time. He's just going to stay there. Got the 10-2. Don't want to give it up. Don't want to take the major decision. All right, there we go. There's another finalist for LaSalle. Lucas Bird wins 10-2 over Hacker from Wadsworth.
Okay, Dustin Norris, a sophomore from LaSalle, followed up a great semifinal victory with an even better win here in the finals at 113 pounds against his opponent, Logan Aglin from Lancaster. He did it partially because of his size difference. He picked up a takedown early in the match, and that was really important. But then Aglin came back, and right at the end of the first period, got a reversal of his own and almost got back points. As we go into the second period, Norris picked up an escape, therefore leading 3-2. And he used that 1-point advantage for the remainder of the match. When he got in control in the third period, he rode Aglin out. And that's really unusual to get a long ride like that without a stall call. But Norris was able to do so. There's 3 takeaways from this match. 1, you want to attack late in the first period and get your first takedown. First takedowns really matter. Secondly, wrestle out every period. Don't give up something cheap right at the end of a match. And then thirdly, learn to use the top position and control your opponent without stalling. So, Dustin Norris takes home the first medal for LaSalle in this year's 2019 Ohio State Championships.
Okay, well now we've just seen Lucas Bird defend his state title last year and add a second title at 120 pounds. Also the second title of the evening for the Lancers. Lucas, total domination. The Maryland commit took a takedown within 30 seconds, totally controlled the match from Jake Canatano from Solon, all the way to the end where he had a nice throw for back points for an 8-1 match. Total domination. Lucas, a senior from LaSalle, in the corner, his brother, who was also a former state finalist, and his dad coaching it. Great match for LaSalle this evening, and it closes a gap on this state tournament title. They're only a few points behind Lakewood St. Ed's right now. Real shot at the title if we can keep it going.
We're going to be going to 132 pounds next.
Well, at this point, there's no easy matches. I mean, you're final four best guys, top 5 guys in the state. And there's not that big a difference between them all.
Right.
You know, the quality of wrestling here at the state tournament, you know, second to none. You have 10 to 15,000 people here today. This match.
I want to thank Dave Foster for his continued support. He picked up the tab for both 106 and 113 and 120. And long time ago, I won't say how long, Dave wrestled in those weights as well. So thanks, David, for your continued support.
Think you can still make it?
No.
Couldn't cut there?
He'd have to cut pretty hard. Although he's not that far off. A lot closer than I am to any legal weight.
Yeah, those days are over, right? So now we're on, we're going to be waiting. We're going to be coming, this is probably our only.
We got to kind of wait.
Yeah,
we've got it.
126.
And we'll be back.
Waycross coverage of OHSAA wrestling is made possible in part by SWOCA, the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association. Steve Burke, Matt and Dominique Mercurio, Dr. Kevin Riley, Dr. Stephen Daly, Foster and Motley, financial consultants, Jeff Burkhoff's Old Coaches Association, Cold Spring, Kentucky La Roses, Kent Smith of State Farm, Klein Residential, and Dan Starkey.
We're back after a short little break here. We'll be coming up right now on mat 3. That's Jordan Ward from Cincinnati Moeller. Dave, take it from there.
Yeah, I've got him. He's wrestling Blake Saito of Perrysburg. Ward is in the standard traditional uniform of Moeller. Saito in the kind of blue, and I'm not sure what that color is exactly. Anyway, predominant blue top.
Well, Jordan, the third of 3 brothers. Joey Ward, 2-time state champion. Brother Jacoby Ward, older than him. Now Jordan, the last of the 3, going through Moeller program.
Jordan got a slow start this year from an early injury. He's 26-1 now in this season. He was 6th at 132 pounds last year and 7th at 126. Saito was 8th at 132 last year and 7th at 107 in 2017. Saito comes in as 3rd out of the Medina district, and Ward won the Kettering district.
Well, we have blood. I've watched all of Jordan's matches here, and he's had been fighting a bloody nose issue, and every match we've had to stop it for blood time. That loud cheer you hear was the consolation match for St. Edwards wrestler pinning actually.
Boy, that was a bit of a knife in the side of the Lancers.
Yeah, everything counts. That's we've got some consolation matches going on the side. Right now we've got Fairfield wrestler. Ball, it's not on the screen, but he's wrestling the same weight, 26.
Yeah,
we're back to live.
Yeah, there are consolation matches going on one mat. There's a group of 3. You have the semifinals of the weight and a consolation match going. There's 2 semifinal matches going and 1 consolation match. And the winners of the consolation match will be wrestling one of the losers of the championship semifinal match tomorrow morning. And that's when things get really complicated.
We're also coming up on, we're going to split the screen here shortly because the other 132-pound semifinal match will be Casey Wiles from Cincinnati LaSalle against Mick Burnett from Elyria. Mick was 6th in 06 and 2nd in 17 at 106. 2nd last year at 126. And Casey was 3rd at 126 last year. So 2 heir apparents from 26 moving up to 32. This should be a good match here on the right. Burnett in on a double on Wild, good hips.
Saito in on Ward's leg. Ward's driving hips down, sprawling, fighting back out of that attempted takedown at that end of the second period, or the end of the first period. And no score at 132 pounds. Jordan Ward of Moeller and Blake Saito of Perrysburg.
Wiles last year from LaSalle had a great tournament up here, finishing 3rd. Came in as kind of an unheralded freshman and has continued that progress this year. LaSalle's wrestling an extremely tough schedule. Really good athlete. Little strong hips, very powerful. They get in on his legs once in a while, but they don't usually finish. But he's got a strong opponent here.
There, Ward just picked up a reversal, and got a leg in, looking for a split or a guillotine. Oh, he's going to go through and tilt. There's back points coming for Ward. Yeah, nothing there. Didn't hold that long enough.
Well, just an example of what I said. Burnett was in tight. Had a nice double, and Wiles was able to just hip up, pressure in, break that hold, and come out with no points.
Ward still is nursing that 2-0 lead. He's had tilts on Saito a couple times, but Saito squirms out of it so that he doesn't give away back points. 45 seconds left in the Ward-Saito match. That's Ward on top. He's on the left.
Okay, that ends the first period. 0-0.
In the Wiles-Fenton match.
Yeah, he got out. That took him about 10 seconds. 1-0, Casey Wiles, sophomore from LaSalle. Coached by Jacques Boggs in the chair, one of the assistant coaches, along with Ryan Root, his head coach, and Jeff Bird, another assistant coach. Burnett's in there pretty good again.
Wiles
He's in there pretty tight
he got
this
there
time.
Really buried that one.
Wiles trails 2-1.
Third period here with Ward still ahead, 2-0. You know, people say, well, you know, you got to have all these big records during the course of the season in order to make it here. I had a young man blow a knee out in the last part of October one year. Didn't get on the mat until the 1st of January and lost one match in a turn at the St. Xavier Invitational. Oh, Ward had a really great high crotch attempt, but missed. They slide out of bounds. And he didn't lose another match that year. He won the state championship. And he had a record just about like Jordan's record. You know, he didn't have a full season. And he was fresh at the end and felt good. And sometimes I think that we live for these, you know, big records. Uh-oh. Saito in deep on Ward. Ward blocks off it.
Uh-oh, we've got Wild got a 2 count. 2 points.
Gave up 2 on the back.
And it trails, it leads 4-1. This is important. Miles at least got to get an escape here. Try and keep this to a 2-point match. This is going to be, Burnett will probably take down next period. There's a chance to score another point. About 5 seconds left in the period. Coming to his feet.
12 seconds left in Jordan Ward's match with Blake Saito of Perrysburg. Ward remains ahead 2-0. Saito's shooting hard for the single and is in deep, but Ward is in and low on the ankle.
Hang on, he got it. Held on.
And time's out, and Jordan Ward moves on to the finals at 132 pounds with a 2-0 win here in the semifinals against Blake Saito of Perrysburg. Congratulations, Jordan Ward.
Well, we're going to try and find out who his opponent's going to be here. Right now, it's Burnett.
It's going to be, yeah.
Mick Burnett.
Mick Burnett of Elyria.
Yeah.
Is ahead at this point.
5-1.
Burnett in again on a pretty good single shot. Casey Wiles. Trails 5-1.
Nothing going on here. I think we're just, Wiles got to do something here. Down 4.
Need a big win, big move at this point.
McBurnett's from Elyria.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's from the last match. That was Saito's from Perrysburg, and Burnett is from Elyria. Yeah.
Well, Wiles got to get going. It's gonna be tough here.
We still can't. I still can't see the clock over there.
No, there's 2 guys standing in the way. They're filming down there.
You'd think that they'd make those cameramen down there kneel. We've got one down there, and he's kneeling.
Yeah, Wiles trying to get something going, but Burnett's fighting him off. It's about 10 seconds left.
That was a nice drag attempt.
Yeah, a little too far away, but got the 2, but that's not going to be enough. 5-3, 6-3. Yeah, Burnett can just run away from Wiles at this point.
He's warned for stalling.
Yep, but time's out.
Time's out.
Well, that's it. Got another one. Got to come back for 3rd. That's important here for the LaSalle Lancers.
The 132-pound finals was a real family affair this year. As most people know, Jordan Ward is the youngest of the Ward brothers. Joey, his oldest brother, was a state champion. His half-brother, Chaz Gresham, is a 2-time state champion from Goshen. So the Wards know what it means to be on the big mat. On the other side of the circle, Mark Burnett, a junior from Elyria. His dad and coach is a 4-time state champion, and his uncle is a 3-time state champion. So these guys come in with knowing everything there is to know about wrestling. Jordan started this season with an injury, and so he doesn't have the big record that a lot of the guys in the finals do, but he was coming on fresh. As a matter of fact, he was unscored on in the first 3 matches of the tournament. He had a pin and 2 shutouts to get to the finals. Here in the finals, he scored first. He got an escape right away in the second period and was up 1-0. But just at the end of the period, Burnett came back and got a takedown. 3rd period started, both of them on their feet. Burnett defended his position, his advantage, masterfully. Jordan had multiple attempts, Burnett had multiple defenses, and the championship ended up going to Mark Burnett, but Jordan Ward can certainly hold his head up around his family come Thanksgiving, just as I know Mark Burnett will in his home. And so, at 132 pounds, Eric Burnett defeated Jordan Ward of Moeller.
Well, now we've got another LaSalle wrestler, freshman. Jake Niffenegger got to the semis this way. Won 6-4 and 8-5. He's a freshman, 33-10. Beat last year's 8th place finisher in the first round. And now he's got his hands full with Luke Baum and Wadsworth. He finished 2nd last year and 4th the year before at 32. And boy, Bauman from Wadsworth, a common name. There have been a lot of good wrestlers come through that school with the brothers and cousins.
LaSalle's a young team. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores out here. They won't graduate a lot of kids. So
they only
there's
wrestle.
probably some lessons being learned right now as they reflect on the, what they need to work on. And I know they're going to be doing just that very thing.
Well, the program's been getting better and better each year, and this year is, like you said, they're on the top of the boards right now.
Success in most sports attracts people that want to be successful. And I think that we see that. I think we see that as an example. Here at LaSalle, I think that as they are successful, as was true with Moeller when in the years when they repeatedly were up here in the rarefied atmosphere on the team scoreboards, kids wanted to be there because they wanted to be part of something successful. You worked with guys who shared the dream of reaching the top. That's a very important motivating force.
Well, Niffenegger's cuts Bauman. He wasn't going to hold him, so as a freshman, you don't want to be just happy to be here. You want to know you're ready to score points, especially at this level, at this time of the year. Especially in the semifinal match. We're beyond that jitters and freshman nerves, if you will. It's time to wrestle up to your potential. Niffenegger blocks off.
You probably already mentioned this, but Bauman won the Hoover. What a great double. Boy, was that slick and quick.
Yeah.
I like that.
And a release.
Boy. That's pretty hard to defend a double that is hit that quickly. Tie match. Niffenegger. No takedown yet.
Yep, they're both on the side there.
That's a good position.
No points.
Both out.
Yep.
Both up. That's good counter wrestling right there. Here's that double and just an explosive shot.
Right.
The replays are brought to you by SWOCA, Southwest Ohio's Wrestling Coaches Association. They've been backing these telecasts. This is our 25th season of covering the state finals. "25 years. That's a long time.
You had 2 minutes to get away and win the match. As simple as that.
There's an
the
escape.
Now you got to fight it off.
Niffenegger in the white singlet of the Lancers. A freshman. I can't get over that. It just defies believability sometimes. He needs to work in and get another couple more decent close-in shots, safe shots.
Well, still tie, or still up.
This match is being brought to you by Mark Floan and his Cold Spring, Kentucky La Roses Center. Oh,
no. 2-point take. You can't give that up. 30 seconds to go. 29 seconds. He's losing 4-3 now. Noah Bauman takes the lead. You got to get to one here. Oh!
That's sweet.
That's
all
reversal.
Right. That's 2.
5-4. 10 seconds left.
This is where you need to be able to go
Just
to the old-fashioned Navy
seconds,
ride.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. There you go. Freshman in the finals. Well, that was a big win.
That was.
Big
that
win.
was a major turning point. Let's see if we got that. See if we got that on a replay.
On your left side, we've got Chris Donathan
of Mason
winning 2-1. Wow, that was big. See if we come here on the right. You see, he's going to just turn into him. Boom. It's just like a takedown. Right there. Great reversal. Bauman got stood up too straight, and then he was stuck.
Donathan advances pushes his advantage
4-2
to a 4-2 score here in the first period.
Donathan in the white with comets on the back. His coach in his corner, 2-time state champion, 3-time finals.
Matt McIntyre.
Former Lakota wrestler. Moved up the street. Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Donathan won the Kettering Fairmont tournament. He's 50 and 3 on the season. He has a technical fall and a pin already in the tournament. Segura was first. No, it was fourth at 138 last year from Scioto. They go out of bounds. Segura comes at you with a lot of different angles, and he comes to the finals the same kind of situation. Technical fall and pin.
Well, the winner of this match is getting what might be the best wrestler in the state this year, Bryce Andonian from St. Ed's in the finals,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Look forward to that match. Hopefully, Donathan will get there.
Four 3. Christopher Donathan of Mason holds the lead in the second period at 145 pounds.
He was it 2 years ago, 3 years, he got hurt at the districts and wasn't able to compete up here, broke his arm.
I think
or
it was
something
2
like
years.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Broke his arm and could have been a 3-time placer. Not for that.
Donathan was runner-up here last year.
There he goes.
He picked up the head and arm.
He's got it stuck here.
I think
there
he's
it is.
nailed.
Yep, that's it.
That's 2 pins and a tech to get to the finals.
Wow, we just finished a great head-to-head matchup between Lakewood St. Ed's and Cincinnati LaSalle for the first place. Jake Niffenegger, a freshman from LaSalle, gave Bryce Hepner, a junior from St. Ed's, all he could handle. It really came down to 2 moves. Niffenegger was in on the legs several times. First time, thought we were going to get a takedown. Instead, Hepner uses his experience became a 2-time state champion by reversing that into a 5-point move that Niffenegger was not able to come back from. Got a nice takedown there at the end, but again, a little bit of experience talking about. Now we have a 2-time state champion with finishing second, but I think Jake Niffenegger is going to follow that up with this second-place finish, who was much higher than expected. Top 10 was a good match for him, but second, I think exceeded expectations. Looking for him to win a state next year. Well, if you came to watch a wild and crazy match, this is the one. Christopher Donathan versus Bryce Andonian, 2-time state champion. Donathan, runner-up last year at 145. This was wild and crazy from the beginning, including a throw with 5 seconds into the match that Donathan just missed, and then following up with all kinds of action, counters galore. But I think Donathan came in with a great game plan, followed it his coach Matt McIntyre's instructions, came up with that last takedown with 15 seconds to go. But there was action, counters all day long. A 7-6 match, great wrestling. Right now we're another LaSalle wrestler. This should be Hurd, I think, isn't it? Darnell?
Don't think about it.
No.
Elon.
Yeah,
Elon Hurd from Cincinnati LaSalle.
Yep.
The older brother, not the younger brother.
And yeah.
This is a big match in the team. Sam Dover, who is a 3-time placer, senior, 36-2 at this point. Elon's a junior. Came in here as a sophomore, projected to place pretty high, and was basically injured. Was wrestling on one leg and just couldn't get it done. But this year he seems healthy. Committed to Illinois to wrestle his collegiate career there.
Oh, nice second shot on that, and Hurd is following around with it. Hasn't given up the takedown yet. There's still no takedown.
Yeah.
Hurd's almost was into a double, but without any elevation.
Dover's got the cradle locked
and the
up.
cradle's locked.
It's broken. So no points. Good flurry without any scoring.
A little bit far out. Had to stretch a lot on that one.
Dover's a little longer than Elon, so.
Hey, let's go, suck it up. Suck it up, you gotta get hungry.
Elon's trying to step in under and come out the back.
Breathe, you all right?
Well, Dover's looking for a little
you gotta
tilt
get
there.
One. You gotta get one right now.
He's got no points,
no points. Wow.
That was close.
That's
first period's over.
Pick the pace up. Pick the pace up, you all right?
Okay, we start the second period with Elon Hurd on top over Sam Dover of St. Ed's.
You out, up and out, up and out, you out, you out, on your feet, you out. You out, hand control, you out, you out. Circle, there you go, there you go. Hey, again, hurry up. You got 10 seconds. You gotta get one, Bryce.
Division 360 pounds. Former state champion.
Point to Dover.
Yeah, I think this whole match is going to be on their feet because I don't think Dover will ride Hurd that long either. So.
Go. You're on the ankle, go. Scoop.
Kent Smith of State Farm Insurance is
Let's go.
our underwriter for this weight.
Hey,
Thanks,
your
Kent.
turn. Never his turn.
Former
Hey, Your
referee
turn,
and
the
coach.
rest turn. No reaching.
Ooh,
No reaching.
Dover in deep.
Yep.
Pressure.
Hurd's
pressure.
trying to just hang on
Hurd's
here.
trying to stalemate out.
Again. Go on 3. Double change.
Still nothing. Boy, that
There we go.
stalemate.
That was a scramble
Have
for
your hands.
Hurd.
Have your hands.
It looked good. Hurd changed his level a little bit now.
45 seconds left in the second period of this 152-pound match
Snatch it up.
here in the semifinals at the 2019 OHSAA individual tournament.
Go see him. Your turn, the rest turn. He ain't gonna shoot, you shoot.
Coming to you from the Schottenstein Center at Ohio State University.
He ain't gonna shoot, you gotta go.
Oh boy, what a pretty slide by that was.
He ain't
But
shooting, you
again,
gotta
it
go.
didn't score.
He waiting on you.
And Von Hurd maintains his 1-0 lead
Come on, you gotta go, Rice.
as we go into the last part of the second period.
30, without a 30.
That's the end of the period. We go to the third.
Well, Hurd's got to escape.
No reach
And then it's back to the
reach it.
takedown.
Go, you gotta go, boy. You gotta go.
It's kind of like two of the top
You
two
got it.
heavyweights.
Don't
Who's
take
in
him
better
on it.
shape? And I think they're both in pretty good shape.
He ain't
Yeah.
shot yet. Again, Rice. Again, Rice. Again. Keep going. Stalling, that's what. Something. Hey, you got 18 seconds.
Dover's
Go get
putting the
it.
pressure
He's
on.
stalling. He's
And
shot on match. Go get
Referee
it.
stops the match.
Come on, Ed. I get it. I get it. I get it. Stalling. I get it. Again, go.
I thought he came down funny on that, on his right shoulder on that lift and return to Matt.
Hurd.
Yeah,
And they're
it
looking
kind
at
of,
him.
we'll see
Little
it here
shot.
in replay.
He's kind of. Yeah, his elbow, I think,
Yeah,
went to protect himself. Quite honestly, if he doesn't protect himself,
It
it's
would
a
be a
slam.
slam.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. But there was no penalty for
Yeah.
unnecessary roughness or a slam.
Well, as assistant coach Brandon Ryan is asking what are you looking at that we're not looking at?
You can see that again here while we're, well, seems to be ready to go again. Von Hurd
1-0. He got a score.
trails 1-0. Minute 51 seconds. There's a caution on Dover. And Dover throws a cradle. He's picking up a
Yeah.
bundle of back points. That's a nicely thrown cradle. It's a disadvantage of a little bit of a longer body frame for Dover.
He's going to stay right there. There's no sense doing anything but.
No.
Minute and 20 seconds. Going to elevate, keep that knee under the back of Hurd. Try and push that elbow out.
Minute and 13 seconds. That's a long, of course, that's a false cradle.
Yeah, he wasn't going to pin him from that, just a bad position.
Right. He's just picking up big bundles of points. There's 3 on the back.
So 4-0 with a minute to go. Hurd still has time and escape and take down. Maybe to get some back points.
Now we hope you understand, we are missing matches here, consolation bouts that are going on that involve our area wrestlers, but we can't get them all. Quite
Well, I'm looking
honestly.
at the scoreboard, Dave. It's a dead heat for first place, LaSalle and St. Edwards.
Yeah, that's
11,
usually
111.5.
running a little bit behind, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not-
at least at some point that's what it is, 111. But But those other matches
Yeah,
that we're not
here.
showing are having.
The
Have
bout
effect.
board, online bout board says 122.5. Boom, boom, doubled up.
Both of them. So, yeah.
There we go. That's
All
the,
right.
we're going to see the back points come up on this cradle, I think.
See, now Hurd's head's, look,
Head
it goes
to the
his
knee.
head to the knee.
He
Yep.
put his head to his knee.
Yep. Brought his knee right up there. It was-
Yep. That gets you in trouble. And that's the, is that just the third?
That's a big win.
Is that the third to go down for the South? I believe it is.
Yeah.
Well,
They have a
Okay.
couple left.
we're going to take a little break here in action, and we'll be back shortly.
Waycross coverage of OHSAA wrestling is made possible in part by SWOCA, the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association. Steve Burke, Matt and Dominique Mercurio, Dr. Kevin Riley, Dr. Stephen Daly, Foster and Motley, financial consultants, Jeff Burkhoff's Old Coaches Association, Cold Spring, Kentucky La Roses, Kent Smith of State Farm, Klein Residential, and Dan Starkey.
Okay, we're back to action here. We're at 160 pounds with Brent McIntosh of Harrison on the mat with Patrick Gallagher of St.Edwards.
Yeah, Patty Gallagher, third last year at 152, lost one match. 14-0 this year, 16-0 at this point.
And he just picked up a takedown right off the bat.
Well, he scored 49 points in his two matches. He's tech fault both guys, 25 to 10 and 24 to 9. So this is a takedown clinic.
McIntosh comes in having won the Kettering-Fairmont district. He's 47-2 at this point, and he got here with a 6-1 win and a 3-2 win. So he's not the scoring machine that Gallagher is.
He's in real trouble
sure.
here.
Oh, he's in big trouble.
Gallagher raises, can't lay back, and McIntosh is fighting it, but he's got to stay there for a minute. Boy, this is tough to get out of.
Yeah.
Especially against a quality component like that. He's working his way out, though. I think he's going to get out of that. But as soon as I say that, Gallagher
picks the ankle up even more.
retightens it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Wait a minute. What?
Well, I've got a injury time.
I thought there was a.
So he stopped it for injury, so that's a 4-point. Should be 6-0. 2-point takedown, 4-point near fall with a stoppage for injury. Gives him 4 points.
Wrestling down to mat number 2, 923. Division 1, 170 pounds. Defending state champion from Powell, senior, Carson Touchdown.
Yeah. Chad Dennis is trying to talk his way out of that point. You're not going to win that one, I'm afraid, Chad. I can only remember one time in better than 50 years that I've been involved in these tournaments that I ever saw. One time I remember seeing a referee change a call. One time. Okay, so McIntosh goes back to the defensive position. Gallagher reassumes the offensive position. He hits you with so many things so fast, it's really hard to counter.
Well, he was one of the top freshmen in the state coming in last year. Came in his reputation as a junior high phenom, and then quality. Finished third, obviously. Did a pretty good job. And to come in to start at St. Ed's as a freshman at 152 pounds is
that's pretty good
pretty
task.
significant, yeah.
Yep.
Another takedown.
And
8-1.
McIntosh he's not a piece of chopped liver. He was a cadet freestyle All-American, and he won the Medina tournament this year.
Well, it's 10-2 now. So we can't even keep up on the scoreboard. It's going so fast. We can't see the scoreboard anyway.
There it is. We can't see it.
12. Now it's 12. As soon as we say 10, it's
Oh,
12.
and there's starting a near cradle. Oh, McIntosh hits you with everything, doesn't he? That's at least 3 different attacks I've seen out of him. That wears you out.
I mean Gallagher. McIntosh is the one that's getting hit.
Yeah, I mean Gallagher.
We've watched McIntosh several matches, 14-4 and 16-4.
Gallagher is wick.
He's a takedown machine. He's got that front, shuck by, just so strong. Gets the opponent's head down and just spins behind.
Hank. 16-4.
Start the third period.
This is one of those situations where you wonder, did somebody forget to run the clock or what? I can't believe.
17. Oh, we got a penalty here. Illegal hold.
McIntosh.
18-4.
McIntosh losing his composure now.
Hands to the face.
Can't do that.
This is it right there. That's the match. 20-4. So he scored 25, 24, and 20 in 3 rounds. 69 points in 3 matches, averaging 23 points.
That's an average, boy. I'll tell you what. that's the that's just an indicator of a guy that's going to go a long way in this sport, let alone just here in high school. He's the kind of guy that people salivate over at the collegiate level. Well, let's see. We're going to come back with the 182-pound weight class here in a very brief moment.
Weight cross coverage of OHSAA wrestling is made possible in part by SWOCA, the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association. Steve Burke, Matt and Dominique Mercurio, Dr. Kevin Riley, Dr. Stephen Daly, Foster and Motley, financial consultants, Jeff Burkhoff's Old Coaches Association, Cold Spring, Kentucky La Roses, Kent Smith of State Farm, Klein Residential, and Dan Starkey.
Okay, we're back. Or you're back. Somebody's back. We're at 182 pounds. And we're going to be seeing Trey Sizemore of Cincinnati LaSalle in here with. You want to get the next name here, Greg?
No.
Wilkins?
Are we talking the Sizemore match here?
Barberton. And
I think it's Wilkins.
Wilkins?
Yeah.
Wilkins. Yeah, that's pretty close. We'll call him Gary.
He was 6th and 6th. We call him 6th. He was 6th at 170 pounds 2 years ago and 6th at this weight last year.
And he's undefeated this year.
Yeah. So.
And Trey Sizemore was 7th at 160 pounds last year and is 42 and 6 at this point.
He'll be matriculating to Brown University to wrestle for them this year.
Yeah, that's right. He is. That's right.
He had pins in his first 2 matches. Minute and 32 seconds in the first round and 5 minutes and 1 second in the second round. A whole lot of action here.
Yeah, a lot of action and good scrambles.
Sizemore's able to work as well. He's got to get the head up. Wrestle with his head down. Gary's
near the edge of the mat here, and they're going to go back to the middle. With all that flurry of action, no points were scored.
Well, this is a big match for LaSalle. They've got to get some points back. They've had
That's
a little
good
lull.
double.
They were they're down to St. Ed's by 19 points now after 126 pounds. So Sizemore coming out the back way. He's got to get his head off the mat, Dave.
Yeah.
Can't wrestle down like that. So they say high man wins the scramble.
Yeah. These two guys want to wrestle in reverse, it seems. They're around one another's ankles and everything.
Well, I think that's that new look you see in college quite a bit. Instead of blocking down and breaking it, you jump over the top. And so try and grab the other opponent's leg and just kind of elevate that way. Sizemore in
nice
here.
Little dump.
Gets his stairs too.
Fireman.
Yeah.
Picks up 2.
4 seconds left here in the first period.
That's a good time to score. That's a good time to score right there. Yeah, Brooks Johns had a 17-2 technical fall and a 16-5 major, while Sizemore has 2 pins. Coming to the semis here.
Now they'd like a third.
Yeah, they would really like a third. Granby rolling. Sizemore stays with
the half in there, yeah. You know, a pin in this match right here is 13 points. So, including placement points, etc.
Yeah. There's a cradle.
So that would put that right back to. He's got it.
Cradle on.
Too much. Too much. He can roll him back.
I hope he's got the strength to hold it.
If he can sit under this. Boy, he had it. Tough. Got a little too out of control on when he brought him back. He still hasn't given up the
control.
No, he's still got the bottom man. I think they'll stalemate this pretty soon.
That's a stalemate.
Yeah. Well, there was a whole lot of action that got him nothing.
Here we got here's the cradle coming in again.
Yeah, see,
he just took it. Well, actually, Gary kind of made it happen. He felt the cradle coming and threw his hip into it and drove it through. Sizemore starts to put legs in.
Yeah, kind of hard to put the legs in. A guy taller than you. But he's looking for it again.
It's a double. Sizemore comes after you. He's not holding back. He's a senior. This is his last chance to get a chance to be a state champion.
It looks like loading up for the Granby again. Yep, there it is. Oh. He hasn't given it up. Boy,
he's going to lock up
really
on that leg again.
Really didn't defend that very well, but
he didn't defend it well at all. But he is not giving up the.
Yeah, we're going to have another stalemate.
It's not going to end up being a leg ride counter.
No, we should have less than 10 seconds here, with Sizemore leading 2-0. 17 seconds. Well, if he comes up, they're going to stop that. So, right there. Now we got less than 10 seconds.
We didn't mention that Matt and Dominique Mercurio are underwriters at 170 pounds. And Dr. Steve Daly.
Right. That ends that period. Now, Sizemore should take down, I think. Sometimes you don't know what the wrestler on top's got, you know. Sometimes you're better off taking neutral, but you're up 2, so. But you don't want to give up back points here. Maybe this guy's, who knows what he's got, so.
Well, what it is, nobody's found the solution to it this year.
This looks like why. He's hanging on. Sizemore's got fighting for hand control.
Fight the hands
coming
off.
out, and if he can just clear the hips there a little bit and then face up. He's not in a bad position right there, actually. There you go.
There's one.
Clears it, 3-0. Now maintain levels, various levels. Minute 23 seconds left.
This weight class is brought to you by Kent Smith of State Farm Insurance Company.
Sizemore's nice ankle trip, nice ankle pick in on the single. Didn't quite catch it. He's got to finish this. Yep.
And 2.
Similar to Niffenegger earlier, same kind of thing. They've gone from that low ankle up to the high double and catching at the waist. 5-0.
Wish they'd add into that series that they're running a Navy, because there's a lot of times they have the opportunity to use the Navy and control
Everybody's afraid to get hipped into on the Navy anymore. They won't stick their, yeah, they don't like cutting their head across the front anymore. It's kind of
hip and step over.
There's the ankle pick. Then loses that, but gets to the single. And then here he comes right into the double right.
That's good
there.
change off. Good change off to the double.
So you go from a pick to a single to a double. Nice series. And now you're up 5-0 with 38 seconds left to get you into finals. We've been wrestling for 2 solid days here, Dave. Starting yesterday, 2 rounds. First round of championships, then consos. Then second round of championships this morning, 2 rounds of consos. And third round of championship. Then we come back tomorrow. And then tomorrow's crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Sizemore, 36 seconds. Gives up the escape. Way to gets the underhook. Nice.
Wilkes Johnson is coming after it, coming hard, but Sizemore's being
he's
very,
got him locked
very
there.
cautious.
Got that front headlock in. Down to, can't tell if it's 13 or 23. I think it's 23. No. Usually the guy with the towel comes out with 15, so got that wrist locked under his chin. Not going to let any hand control loose. Going to stay right there. Take the match. There you go. So Trey Sizemore in the finals.
That's
great.
That's a good win for him and for LaSalle. Yeah, as you pointed out, Greg, St. Ed's leads before this match. Well, that was through 152, 144.5 to 125.5.
Well, that'll get him 11 points
for
the win.
Okay, at 182 pounds, the contestants were Ben Venata of Brecksville, a sophomore, came in 44-9, and the LaSalle senior Trey Sizemore came in at 43-8. Sizemore ranked very highly both in the state and in the nation. He's headed to Brown next year, and he put in a workmanlike performance here in the finals, ending up picking up the first takedown, giving away escapes, getting more takedowns. He ended up 8-1, and he just showed his pure dominance. So Trey Sizemore, the winner at 182 pounds, and we move on to the 195-pound match next.
Michael Baker now. Another East Coast wrestler going to East Coast. He's going to be wrestling in Columbia next year. He's ranked #1 at this weight. 195. Anticipate he'll wrestle 197 in college. His opponent, Jordan Greer, which he's up 2-0 on.
Yep, from Avon. And Avon's got back-to-back wrestlers coming up in here. In the next weight class is an Avon wrestler, I believe. No.
I don't think so.
No, I was thinking that they had back-to-back.
No, the heavyweights at Avon.
That's it,
Avon.
heavyweight is.
Yeah.
There's 2 more for Baker.
Yep. Well, he's really wrestled good. We've watched his progression in the last 3 years, too.
Now Baker's 39-7. Last year he was 6th at 195. And Gear is 39-2 coming in here. He was first in the Mentor district. Both of them had to fight pretty hard in the quarterfinals to get out. Gear with an 8-2 win. And Baker with a 5-3 win. Baker's win came over Darren Pullman, who was indicated, at least in Intermat, as being a major favorite here, except for Becke. So Baker still's kind of the horse to be followed in this weight, certainly.
Well, he's got him tilted now.
Getting more back
count.
points.
I think he got 2. I don't know if he got the 5 count.
Two.
So that's 6. Yep. I agree. Got to block off that single.
Look at him scoot.
Yeah. Potentially dangerous there.
Especially with a guy that's got a knee brace on.
Yeah, LaSalle's team took a major blow when their 220-pounder Garrett Bledsoe had to have shoulder surgery after Christmas. He was a potential state top 4, would have been a place. That would have been potentially a bunch of points for him. But they've been able to come through that, fight through that, and stay right there.
Well, Baker had that single way up high on the thigh, where you would think he would elevate it more, but he used just a tremendous amount of core power to, break.
We're showing it right there.
Yeah.
So
he's way
he's
up
able to
high
get out
in
of
that.
that. Yep. He's a strong kid.
Gear was just forced into the mat.
So 8-0. Minute and 12 seconds here in the second period. Now we got another tilt.
We'll get more points.
You don't usually see the big guys do this too much.
Right.
That's 3. We're up to 11. Getting another, is he getting another count? Didn't get it long enough. There's still plenty of time left.
Baker's had a number of losses. All of those losses have been to nationally ranked wrestlers from various parts of the country.
Got 20 seconds left here in the second period. Trying to just hold and bring him back to the mat here. Pick up the leg. And call stalling on that. Okay, Baker's choice, and he takes top. It's not going to go down and potentially get
cradled,
anything like that. And he's been doing a pretty good job with his tilts. I think 2 tilts, and this is over. If he can get a 3 and a 2, or
again, we're looking at 2 different body types, one longer and the other more compact, and there can be a problem with cradles for those long-legged and long-armed guys. I want to take a tip of the hat to a guy who has become a fixture here in Ohio wrestling circles, Josh Lowe, who puts out a blog in the Intermat rankings and evaluations. Much of the information we have about wrestlers from the north come to us by way of Josh. And we're appreciative of his labor. We're appreciative of Tim's labor too. Right, Greg?
All the
Greg,
time. All
speak
the time.
up.
I'm just watching the other match here. We just had an overtime escape here while we were kind of away from it. A little excitement right in front of us.
Wrestling next on mat number 5.
Still a little left.
Division 2, 220 pounds.
So Baker
11.
doesn't really need to do anything here.
11.
He
11-1?
can let Greer make the mistakes. Just
Yeah,
sit there.
well, that's what that's the correct approach to it. On the other hand, there's always a danger you take the foot off the gas and the other guy comes back at you.
Well, you don't stop. You just all right. What do we got? The heavyweight match. So
yeah, we do.
We're up with Vaughn. Is that right?
That's
Turner.
That's
Stone.
Stone and Rush
So
of Avon. There's
and
that
then-
other Avon.
Well, we'll be
wrestler.
able to go right to it because Baker just won his match. Another finalist for LaSalle. So 1, 2, count 4 that I can think of. 5 actually. 5 in the finals. That should help bring them back closer to St. Ed's. I don't. 2 in a
Jack
row.
Roche of Avon. He's a senior. He's 37-4 coming in. And Kevin Stone, who was runner-up in the Kettering-Fairmont district, is 41-3. Rush has a pin and a 6-5 win. Stone has a 2-1 and a 3-2 win. He wrestles close matches is the only way to describe it.
Here we're back up again. 46 seconds left in the first period. Stone in the black, a little orange Ohio insignia on his back.
Bring it home, baby.
Yeah, he's giving up a leg. Got to keep from there. You go.
He's got good feet. He's got good feet. He moves his feet well.
Strong enough to break that single.
We'll end up the first period with no points being scored. He's at 208.
All right, we're going to be, this is Alex Coleman of Ross, his match, Division 2. So we got, Cincinnati's got 2 heavyweights going. Well, he's going for the, he loves that.
He does. He uses that head and arm. And look, he gets.
Oh, I think he's got it.
I think he's got it. He
Yep,
does.
there's a pin.
Well, that's the way to finish up the
Rich Dunn.
round. That's
Rich
for
Dunn's
sure.
kind of proud of that one. Boy, that was a 25-second pin.
Alex Coleman of Ross picks up the 285-pound semifinal win. And we still have Kevin Stone of Anderson and Jack Rush of Avon going at it.
All right, we're going to, as soon as we get a chance, we're going to have to get to show that one again. I mean, 25 seconds, we got to give the kid more airtime than that, don't we, Dave? Jeez. Let's show
We'd
that
hope.
one over.
We hope to. Well, Stone is trailing 3-0 here in the second period in his bout with Jack Rush of Avon. And he comes to his feet, gets an escape. 3-1. 30 seconds left in the second period. Rush seriously wants to be a serious wrestler, be taken seriously, shooting doubles, and Stone blocks those off pretty effectively, but he has given up a takedown.
All right.
At the end of
3-1.
At the end of 2, it's 3-1. Roush over Stone.
He's got to pick it up here.
These are
Got
both
2 minutes.
These are both pretty small heavies. There's several wandering around the building here today that are considerably bigger. And
well, we saw it, Wayne Padilla.
yeah,
And he's ranked number 1 D1, so he's still moving around. Got to get to
Stone
his
needs
feet.
to get some hands.
There he goes, coming to his feet. All right,
There's one.
3-2.
3-2.
And always comes down to that takedown, doesn't it, Dave? Here we go again. Oh, and there it is.
There
You
it
can't
is.
do it. Can't let that happen. Well, that was big. But he's still got time. If he gets away and a takedown, we're back to tie. So he just got a little anxious there and just kind of walked into that. Gee,
Yeah, it was.
you get excited.
I think
you
he
know.
was. In a sense, celebrating the escape. He's thinking about what is instead of what's to be.
Well, we're not on the camera, but we've got a consolation match which has consequences for the team scores. Darnay Hurd, younger brother of Elon's in here, wrestling in overtime, trailing 2-1.
And
5-2 with 22 seconds. So Stone's got to get a lot done here in a short time. So,
yep, he's down to the nubbin now. There's no turning back now.
it's 5-3. So if he can get up, even a quick reversal.
You got to
not
find.
that way.
You got to find.
Can't put your head on the mat.
You got to find the last shred of power in your body and get out of there. And he's not going to do it.
Well, he might have got it. He might have taken all of it, but 5 seconds, a 5-3 match kept him from being in the finals, but there we go. But he's got to come back now. He's got to wrestle for third, win a match or 2.
Tomorrow morning.
We'll be here to watch it.
Yeah.
Now we're at the 195-pound weight class. Michael Baker from LaSalle finished 6th last year, now made the final podium. He's up for 1st or 2nd, but boy, he ran into a buzzsaw in freshman Seth Shoemate from Dublin Coffin. Maybe a 4-time state champion here in a few years to see it. Michael had a great season. Started out, came in here 37-4. He'll matriculate to Columbia University next year. Looks like LaSalle's going to come up a little short here. We needed a pin here in the 182 and the 195 to have a chance to even tie. But boy, close match. We're within 10 points of Lakewood St. Ed's, our perennial state champion. A great effort by that whole LaSalle Lancer team, and Coach Ryan Root and his staff. Michael Baker finishes up his career, 2nd place finish in the state. Nice way to go out.
Well, we come down to the end of the tournament, and we move to Division II. for one of the most exciting matches that have been around the whole evening. This features the defending state champion at 285 pounds from Girard, Jack Del Garbino. He's undefeated this year, 28-0. His opponent's from Ross, Alex Coleman, who's just a junior. And he's 48-3 this year, and he's now state champion. What a great match. Coleman's a roller, and he's got really quick feet for a big man. He gave up some takedowns, but he scored reversals and back points and ends up with a 10-7 victory, knocking off the state champ, becoming a state champ, and changing Ross's history. Up until then, Ross had more placers without a champion than almost any other team around. That's all done now. Congratulations, Ross. You've got your champion. Yeah. What do you think of this round, Greg?
I'm pretty impressed. The whole weekend's been for the Cincinnati wrestlers, not only the ones we've shown on TV, but another of the matches that we've had in the consolations. A lot of good matches, and the fact that LaSalle's in there for that first place title is impressive. A lot of other kids from in our area, all weight. I mean, all Division 1, 2, and 3. Got some good kids, and like you said, a lot of young kids. We only have graduating a few seniors here in LaSalle now, but we've got some fine young wrestlers coming up through the programs that are going to have. We'll be showing them for a number of years.
Yeah, I don't think people could be too upset with the fact that LaSalle started the round ahead and now trails, but it is youngsters, and regardless of how good they really are, this is a different tournament than this team, LaSalle and Mason especially, have wrestled a national tournament. They wrestle all over the country, and great, powerful tournaments. But this is different. This is the Ohio State Individual Championship, and there's nothing else really like it in the high school world. Maybe New Jersey or Penn State, but those are certainly the top three. Anyway, we're going to be back tomorrow for the crazy round, when we'll be trying to figure out who's on what mat, wrestling for what position. So, on behalf of all the volunteers of Waycross Community Media, and for the efforts of Tim Cunningham over here to taking his headgear off finally, and my sidekick
off too, will you? Take your glasses off.
And my sidekick, Greg Klein. I'm Dave Bean. So long for now, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Waycross coverage of OHSAA wrestling is made possible in part by SWOCA, the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association. Steve Burke, Matt and Dominique Mercurio, Dr. Kevin Riley, Dr. Stephen Daly, Foster and Motley, financial consultants, Jeff Burkhoff's Old Coaches Association, Cold Spring, Kentucky La Roses, Kent Smith of State Farm, Klein Residential, and Dan Starkey.